curious if anything came up since this was their first time back home in a while. As they were on the road, trade talk got louder and louder and louder around a few certain players, particularly some vets. Did anybody dare to ask Zach and or Vooch and or Lonzo about so you've been reading the headlines recently?
No, we didn't ask him about that, but I mean, they're very much aware of this time of year. Those guys have been in the league for a long time. They understand the trade stuff. They've all been traded before. I think that factors into, and like I've been saying, I mean, there's no way, like nobody's going to admit this, but there's no way the trade deadline conversation narratives is not affecting these guys right now. They are a step slow. They're not getting the same offensive rhythm that they had been to start the year. They're losing games. They're not rebounding. I mean, it's like all this stuff that made them more competitive than we expected or maybe even hoped. And now they're not doing any of that stuff. And they look a step slow and lethargic. And it's just not very in line with the brand of basketball that they want to play. And I have no doubt that has to do with the trade deadline and just understanding that like any of these guys could be moved at any given moment. And I think the team has been very, the front office has been very guarded about what their plans are and who they might move and what might happen. And I think the players feel that too. They just don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow or if they're going to get the same, Shams notification that we're going to get. And I think that weighs on guys. So it would not surprise me if, nothing happens at the trade deadline, that they start to look a lot more like the first, month of the season than they do now. But for right now, I just have a hard time believing that this is not affecting the way that they're playing.
We all silly like the mayor.